Learn some new things, right? Some exciting things. I didn't catch that, but maybe it's best that I didn't, right? But today I'm not going to be before you long. If anyone doesn't know, my name is Rue, and I'm the operations manager here. Miss Fix It to Jamaica in Alabama, but I say that because I'm here to help all of you guys, and so if you ever have an issue, in the office and you need to reach out to me, I'm definitely available. You definitely can reach out to me. So we're going to talk about updates and changes today. And there have been a lot of updates, a lot of changes over the last couple of months. You guys are troopers because you've been handling it like nothing, and you keep moving. And that's what's going to help our growth. Good morning. Oh, I saw you already. That's what's going to help our growth, the way that we handle and deal with change and the way that we're able to adapt. So yesterday, Randy started talking about our company culture, and I just grabbed a few things from there. Change and adaptability was one of the things that was on there, and that's major. That's something that whatever season we're in, we're going to experience change, and we're going to have to be adaptable. And again, that's going to tie into the growth of the company. Accountability, that's major for myself, for everyone in here. The reason that you're in here is because we believe that we can hold you accountable to put the best for this company, forward. That you have PageCo and Liberty Tax at the forefront. When you're in the office, when you're outside of the office, you're referring people, you're talking about Liberty Tax, you are taking it all full as your own, and that's part of being accountable. Communication, that's something I definitely need to work on, and something that we all need to work on. It's something that's so important. Somebody said yesterday, communication is key. It is key. It's a key to a lot of things, and we could go on and on, about that, but that's a continuing thing that I plan on working on, and that we all, could do a little bit better with as a company. And results orientated. And at the end of the day, that's what this all is going to boil down to, is the results. And if we continue to be adaptable and make changes and embrace change and be accountable and work on our communication, we are going to see results. Amen? Okay. So one of the changes that we have going on this year is the completed return form. Okay, so the completed return form is going to be at the end of your return. So after you finish, dealing with the client. It's a very quick form, and I'll quickly go to it. I actually have it up here. It's a Google link. It'll be on each computer. So, Chris, did we already do that yet? Some of them. So some of them may already have them, but it's going to be a link that'll be on each computer. And the data is going to be shared with the DMs, marketing department, processing, and the operations department. It's going to help us send text messages out to our clients. So, once we've completed a return, you'll have someone that is going to, and we have, is it going to be the call center now, Randy? Is that what we're going to do? Okay. So the call center sends a text message out to the client saying, thank you for coming in. We also have a Facebook marketing plan that's going on right now, that we'll speak more about, as well, that will also contact, the client and get them to do your customer service survey and so forth. So these forms are going to be extremely important. It's also going to help us to manage and keep track of our sender friends, our cash and a flash, and our net spend as well, which I know a lot of you, that was important to you guys last season, and being able to keep track of your net spend clients and so forth. So you can't really see everything here. I think this is a New York form, so it has the different offices: Church, Flatbush, Utica. It's asking whether or not they received, whether they were referred by someone else, how they received their refund, a variety of different things. I think it's actually in the back of the book. If anybody's looking for my slides, they are not in the book. I just realized what was going on. I'm like, everybody's flipping. No, they are not in the book. But what page is that, Randy? And the second to last page, we do have the completed returns form. So if you guys want to turn to that to get an idea of what you'll actually be filling out at the end of each and every completed return. And if anybody can think of anything else that you think, especially the district managers, since you'll be receiving this information, if you could think of anything else that should be added to the form that you think would be useful, because at the end of this, we're able to take this from Google Drive and actually push it into different Excel spreadsheets so that we can maintain the data. We all know Liberty does have reports, but sometimes it doesn't give us exactly what we're looking for. So we're looking for a better way to keep track of our stuff, of our numbers, of our people, of our clients, without having to solely rely on corporate, all the time to provide those type of reports for us. Any questions about that with that?
So this form is going to be completed by us, and there is another form is going to send to the client so he can see how
the survey, yes. So there would be a text message that'll go out to the client. So part of this will go to the marketing department and say, hey, this person completed a return. How great is that? Because you guys don't, you're on to the next client. We have an opportunity to then to provide customer service right after they've completed their return, to let them know that we appreciate them and ask them for referrals again, remind them about, that send a friend, at each point that we have, because we know we have a limited time to engage our clients, right? So we want to get them straight out the door. I'm hoping that we can get them before they even drive off, they're getting a text message saying, hey, thank you for stopping in, and don't forget about the send a friend or whatever the case may be. So this is why, that's crucial, but also for the other things that we mentioned as well. It's going to go to marketing for that. The district managers will be able to have that information as well. How useful would it be, to know what returns were completed in your different offices? You have multiple offices. You can't be there at the same time, on here, let you know if something was discounted, if it's free, those type of things. So you get a better grasp. So, hey, maybe you need to make a phone call like, why was this discounted, or why, whatever your process is, it'll give you better eyes and ears in your offices, because you can't be everywhere at once, right? Any other questions about the form? Yes, ma'am.
You probably said it, that how much was the tax prep fee? Is that to determine whether it was
No, because that would be useful, further on as far as the fees are concerned and stuff like that, just to get a better idea. That's more for data, purposes, so that we can create a spreadsheet with that as well. And in addition to that, this will be able to separate the different states as well. So we'll have all of New York, we'll have all of Pennsylvania, we'll have, all of Alabama, and get a snapshot of each area. From that sense, we can pretty much do whatever we want with the data. So again, if you can think of something, hey, maybe we should ask this question, so that we can pull that data as well. We're open, to whatever suggestions that you have with that. Any other questions about the form?
We use this form to keep track of the sender friend for clients?
Absolutely. Uh-oh.
I just saw this here as a customer person, but if we were able to put their name in, maybe we'll be able to keep us track of how many people they sent.
Sure, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. We probably should write that down over here.
You're going to have access to all the data, so it's going to be almost limitless.
Who has the Sharpie? Okay, there you go. Okay, so say that again, Darlene.
To put in the client that referred, so we can keep track of how many people they did send.
Okay.
They offered.
And that's great too with the new, promotion that we have. It's just another way for us to, keep track of that. So that's great.
They're on the third and sent the fourth, and we know that we have to give them $100 versus $50.
Right, on the fourth one. Okay, all right, yes. Absolutely. So any more ideas like that, definitely keep them coming. That is awesome. So I'm really quickly going to speak about this because there's been a pause on this, but there's a reason why, I wanted to discuss it. So the IRS has been putting a great deal of focus and emphasis on minimizing fraudulent filings. And there's a Tax Pro Trusted Customer Requirements document that came out. So tax software providers must adhere to these regulations beginning in 2019. So it is going to affect us going into this new tax season. So passwords, you may have seen the changes in the passwords already. Again, we're embracing change, right? So the best way for us to get through this is just to understand what the new process is and roll with it, and so that's what today is going to be about, just making sure that we have the information that we need. The second part of it is the security fob, and that's what it looks like right there. So we're not going to do it until after peak. Thank goodness that they decided to pause it. But after peak, each one of you guys is actually going to have, all of us is going to have a security fob. And with that security fob, you're going to need it to sign in. So it's going to be a multi-factor authentication process. So you'll sign in using your regular password, and then you're going to have to press the button on there and get a number off of there. Some of us do that with our bank already. You know, if I go onto my mobile app sometimes for certain things that I want to do, certain transactions, I have to give an authentication code or whatever. So we will all experience it at some point in time, whether you're aware of it or not, or whether it's an actual, you know, fob, but we're going to have an actual fob. So for the managers and the district managers in here, there is a little bit of work that's going to be involved in that. They have a tracking sheet where we'll have to put in the serial number and, you know, keep track of who has what fob, etc. But there'll be a webinar that'll come out once it's ready to roll out, and we'll make sure that you guys have all the information that you need so that it's a smooth transition when that time comes. I put this in red. If the employee does not have their fob and cannot remember the answers to the security questions, they will be prevented from accessing the system. We don't want that to happen, right? Because we don't have time for that. So we're going to make sure that we put procedures in place so that we have a checks and balances, okay, you know, so that we can work around these type of things. But I just want to make sure you guys have a heads up that it is coming, and so that we can prepare ourselves. Just going back to the password thing, I know a few people have had issues with the Phoenix password, with the reset, or once it's been reset, or once you got a new one. You know, there's a simple fix for that as well. Once you've been created and you got the email with a new Phoenix password, anybody experience that? Okay. Okay, so what happens is they send you an email with a new password. If you go directly into Phoenix and try to log in with the new password, which would be the logical thing to do, right? It will lock you out. So what you have to do is take that email that they gave you and go into ZNet and log into the hub and kind of activate the password before you go and log into Phoenix. And that's how it works. So you receive the new password in the email, you log into the hub in ZNet to activate it, and then once it's activated, then you can log into Phoenix. Any other way, you're gonna get locked out. So, and what happens when you get locked out, you gotta, you know, send a message, tracker, or, you know, to tech support, and or you can contact Chris, and I believe we can reset you, you know, from here as well if you want to circumvent that. Yes, sir. I think it's part of the authentication process with them, you know, just being more secure versus you just getting an email to get into Phoenix and skipping ZNet. You have to log into ZNet. So that's another security measure to make sure that you are who you say you are, because you could just gotten into somebody's email, I guess, and come across that password and then logged into Phoenix. Yeah. Yes.
I was going to say that once you go into the hub, you can go other places. That's like game.
Absolutely.
So once I figured that out, I realized that's why I get to go directly to the hub to change the password, because it changes for everything.
Absolutely. So that makes sense.
When you're locked out, I'm surprised I don't really know this stuff, but when you're locked out, do you get a new password? You have to get a new password?
You have to get reset, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we want to avoid getting locked out altogether by, you know, in a sense, once we get you reset, we know that this is the process, so we don't get locked out at all. I don't know who was first. Okay. With that, you go. No, just kidding.
Okay, so for tax students to log into CNET, do we have a username password for them because they haven't technically started, you know,
The process.
yet?
They're not really logged in.
It's just the hub. It's on ZNet, but it's just the hub. So remember, you're using for that.
It was all like now in the training, like we have now examples to do. So does that also go to the training mode or just on the active?
It's across the board.
It's across the board.
It's across the board. because it's the same password. It's just once you come out of training and we give you access into the, you know, the live portion, it's the same password, same system.
So far, that didn't happen to me.
Good. That's great. Then you're doing a great job.
So at one point, are all of us going to?
No, go ahead. I mean, where's your thought process?
I'm just trying to figure this out, because I've been working with Chris on getting the passwords right, but it didn't happen. They problem. I don't know about that. So I'm just trying to see if that's gonna be the case, then I could already prepare for it, because she logged in and now she's locked out.
Right.
So I don't know.
But you have to log into the hub first, Chris, right?
Right.
Mhm.
When you get locked out, all you gotta do is just let me know. I'm gonna go into the system and I'll reset the password. You get an email with your new password. When you get that email, you log into the hub and that activates your new password and everything should work fine.
Mhm.
After this, we'll go over all.
So next year we want to have what's called a tech day. We were talking about this, where we just actually have computers set up and, you know, just have a round table. Any issues that you have, Randy's going to be our number one. Go ahead, Randy. No.
I was putting like the password in wrong, somebody John Giddy.
No, it's not.
That's one of the things. That's one of the things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, they will want to say they get off. Try to go back on. It's the same username and password. So it just may be a glitch in the system.
Now, wait a minute. Are we talking about you? Are you talking about the e-learning system, or are you talking about Phoenix? Okay, because I know that there was an issue with the e-learning system, and that was because we weren't, you know, in the incognito, because we had so many people, you know, in the office.
Like that has ran smooth.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's just me. Like,
Right.
it's saying like if they were the newer preparers, I could kind of understand.
Well, perhaps there's something, you know, going on maybe in just Alabama, and, you know, so we can, you know, after the class, we can just, you know, go ahead and work through it and see what the individual, you know, issues are. But this is definitely the process that you're going to want to go through. Mhm.
The brand new system and anything can come up. So we tell you guys, practice, not just to learn software, it's so that these issues come up, we can be ahead of the game. You know, because no one else is like doing this, like practicing and stuff, and you're gonna get in a lot of trouble. And I see no one else coming like other companies. You're gonna get a lot of trouble when it's taxes.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of trouble.
Absolutely.
That's why we hate this gap like that, because that's what we actually get on with it. I'm locked out and they locked in. I'm logged in, no problem. All of a sudden, they said, well, we should use process.
We're gonna fix it today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're gonna fix it today.
That's right. Chris said no more after today. Okay. Well, I mean, here's a little fun. So are you guys tired of waiting around for payroll checks? You know, some of our managers, some of our employees, you know, those that get checks, we're waiting around for UPS. You know, you wish there was a way to get your pay sooner, right? You know, sitting around on Friday. But don't worry, I got you, okay? So I want to introduce to you today, everybody get ready. Get ready. The PNC pay card. So there's no more checks necessary, you know, which is a good thing. I know, Jamaica, you all for that, right? Because a lot of our day has, you know, it's taken a lot of time. I know a lot of my time is taken with, you know, getting these checks together and mailing them out. We airmail them to you guys, and then you have to sit around and wait for them. And, you know, sometimes your employees are circling around in the office like sharks. Did the UPS guy come, or, you know, whatever the case. There you go. And I'm not mad at them, because I want my money too on payday. Amen. So this this is a way for us to avoid the check. So I'm gonna need everybody that's in here to spread the word, you know, when you get back to your offices, that this is an opportunity, especially for those who may not have, you know, a checking account. The payroll is deposited via ACH to the pay card. So they have the benefit of direct deposit without having to have, you know, a bank account. They get one free withdrawal from the teller or the ATM each pay period. So there are fees associated like a normal debit card or credit card, but you do get one free withdrawal. So you can walk into PNC and say, okay, give me all my money on the card and put that in your pocket. To me, it's no different than going into the check cashing place, but they're not taking, you know, I don't know what percent they take at the check cashing place. And I guess it depends where you're going. But with this, you know, you can go into PNC, get your money out, or you can go to an ATM. And for that one, you know, withdrawal per payroll, that first one, after you get paid, there's no fees associated. It can also be used though, like a debit card to make purchases. And I have some information that I'll, you know, send out to you guys. So no more waiting on UPS for check delivery. It cuts down on fraud for us as well as a company, you know, which is a good thing as well. You know, employees get the benefit of having direct deposit. I said this already, without a bank account. And the most important thing, I think, for everyone is the funds are usually available early morning of payday, just like direct deposit. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. They just present their card and their information and they can withdraw. So. Absolutely. Absolutely. You get one free withdrawal from the teller. So you get paid on Friday. Yes, exactly. You can withdraw it all. Absolutely. So there are certain ATMs, just like, you know, everything, but there's certain ATMs that they have within there. And I think it's in the information that you actually have, LaRonda. I did. And there are, it depends on the circumstances. If you keep a balance on your card, then there are some fees. Everything, hey, and got their cash, they can do the same thing, but going in through PNC and withdrawing it that way. Shama. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Sure, absolutely. With that?
But we should know exactly how much money we have in the card, so we can ask the exact money.
Mm-hmm.
And my second question is the pay stubs. Like, I need to see my pay stub. What would the pay stub?
Sure, we can still, you would still get the information depending on what your situation is. But you would still, you know, get that information in a printout, and you can also get that online as well. Okay. Anybody else have any questions about that? So we excited about that? Yay, that's good. Randy, you got questions? No? Okay. Okay, so financial products. We talked about how we could get our money. Now we're going to talk about how, you know, the client can get their money. And what's the biggest thing on everybody's mind? Everybody's talking about what? Yes, the advance. Very good, very good. So we're going to talk about the advance. The easy advance, 6250, up to 6250. Can we get a hand clap for Liberty on that? That's great. That's going to give us a lot of leverage. You know, a lot of people are going to be coming in. I'm already getting phone calls, believe it or not. People asking, hey, you know, are y'all doing that loan this year? You know, so I guess they already spent, you know, everybody's shopping for Christmas and stuff like that. What's the next big thing? Tax season, right? And that's where we come in. Okay, so I'm sorry. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. LaRondra is going to pass out just some paperwork. They are doing, I was going to talk about that too. H&R Block. We should know all of our competitors' promotions. Oh, Jackson here. Now, I heard that, and it doesn't matter, it's neither here nor there, because like Charisma said yesterday, we have no competition. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care, you know, if they're handing out diamond rings or diamond earrings or whatever it is, they're still not our competition. But I did hear that there is a higher loan out there than our 6250 for a short period of time. And I don't remember whether it's Jackson Hewitt or H&R Block. We actually heard this at training, at the Get Fired Up training. But that's neither here nor there, because the product that we're offering and the options that we have for the clients and the service that we provide and the culture that we have is bar none, so we need to, that's more important, we need to create a customer experience and sew into that and buy into that and give the customer a wonderful experience every time they walk into the door, every time they talk to us on the phone, every time we touch the client. We have to make it a wow, experience. But customers can choose their advance amount this year, so that's a great thing too. They do have to have a minimum of the net refund, which is the refund minus fees, of $1,001. Okay, so if my refund is $999.98, can I apply for the refund advance? No. Okay. All right. So, this chart is just breaking down, and I'll send these slides out to everybody. They're on ZNet as well, but this chart is just breaking down the advanced selection and also the amounts that they can choose from. So if they're at $1,001, the advanced selection is $800, and once they're approved, they may not get approved for $800, they may get approved for $500, okay? But if they get approved for $800, they could choose either the $800 or the $500, okay? And same thing all the way up at the top, the net refund, which is the refund minus fees of $8,000. The selection would be the $6,250, but they can choose from these advanced amounts there. I'm sorry. Amen. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about this part right here? I know we're excited about that because that was the source of some issues last year. Okay. We have the best, not necessarily the largest. And again, that may change. That was rumored at the training that we went to last month. But again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They can steal our thunder. They're trying, but they can't steal our thunder because they're not doing it the way we are. Okay. So, this little clip came from corporate. Randy, you can have an easy advance loan. So for example, if you're doing a $2,500 advance, there's a 35.77% APR. Advanced loans that are from $500 to $1,300 have no cost. So again, the chart here is just showing you there's no finance charge, no APR if they're up to this portion right here, which is $1,300. Okay. All of that information, obviously Phoenix is going to populate all of that information. You have the product sheets here, so you'll be well informed. There'll be more webinars, more information on ZNet. You guys will be pros so that when it's time to offer it to the client, hands down. Any questions about that? Absolutely. So everybody come see Jamaica. You have any questions about how to work it, but it's still a great product, especially since they're able to select which amount they want now. So I feel like this is the part of the commercial. So that I should be reading real fast. Like no interest of fees charged to the customer, but there's no interest of fees charged to the customer for approved loans of $1,300 and below. Finance charge for those above $2,500. There is going to be a national pre-approved marketing campaign, which I think Randy touched on that yesterday. That's going to target over 500,000 prior year fully funded customers. So these are pre-approved customers. We don't have to do anything. Corporate is going to, go after them, and, the call center be ready to take those calls and set those appointments for you. Multiple disbursement options are available. So they can do net spend, prepaid card, direct deposit, and we definitely are doing checks, right? Okay, They have to be eligible for RT. Most of you guys already know this, but I'll put it in here because we do have the newbie crew in here, and I know you guys. Again, stressing the refund minus fees has to be greater than or equal to $1,001. It's nothing worse than being offered something that you can't have. So you want to make sure before you open up that door, because then you got to back all the way out of it. And the customer might not want to come with you. Okay, so make sure that the refund minus fees is greater than or equal to $1,001. Only one taxpayer can apply regardless of the filing status. Advance is paid back out of the client's federal and/or state return, whichever comes first. I know that seems simple and logical to us, but make sure the client understands that, because in the call center, they get so many calls, and it's simple as the state came in first. They don't have no state because they had a refund. You know, they had a refund advance, and they're wigging out because they don't know, why we took their money or whatever the case may be. So it's as simple as clarifying that right there at the table so that they understand. Check cannot be chosen as disbursement method unless it's accompanied by an RT, and the return must be completed. Why is that? Why is it that the check cannot be chosen as a disbursement method unless it's an RT? It's a loan, right? How are we gonna get the money back? Return and eligible for e-file, and it has to be a current year return. And spouse must sign the IRS 72. What happened? That was a ghost, no. But no, they cannot be deceased. They have to have a U.S. physical address, so no P.O. boxes, no foreign addresses, a primary phone number, which I wasn't finished, a primary phone number, which can't be the same as the office or the entity. Sometimes we see that, right? Yeah. Okay, not so much more last year, but in prior years. So we just gotta be careful with that. And they have to present a valid unexpired ID, which we should be doing on everything. Additional information here, there's no review or overturn process for decline easy advance. So, once they get declined, you get that client that says, well, I don't want to do my taxes with y'all no more. Guess what? You already did. It's a done deal. It's over and done with. There's no, taking it back or anything like that. We cannot apply after the financial product application has been submitted. So be sure, because once you submit that, there's no, going backwards on that. You got a question? Oh, okay. All right. Well, keep doing that. Share too,
I'm thinking like it's gonna be perfect. If I'm in applying for the loan, it's gonna be good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All the marketing materials that reference the advanced product must be removed from display and cannot be used after the product end date of February 28th. Okay, so I'm almost done. I'm not going to keep you guys too long. I just wanted to briefly talk about, the call center and kind of the vision that we have for it. So we're going to be setting appointments, asking for referrals, and saving the sale. When I say saving the sale, you guys are closing the sale. But there may be that one or two customer that you can't close, and that's our customer retention opportunity, and that's where we come in. So make sure that you're marking them as a customer retention opportunity and tag us in. That way, the process that we have in place, we can go after that client and we can win them back, okay? We're gonna be contacting prior year customers, non-returning clients, advanced clients, so we will call them like last year and let them know so you don't have to tell them they didn't get it. We will be contacting them first thing in the morning to let them know yay or nay. Customer retention opportunities. Where's my refund? Would you get that a lot? You get bombarded with that in the office. We're going to take that over for you guys, and also the Facebook marketing leads. So, we're going to be diligently, trying to help you guys, and that's what we are. We're an assist, so definitely tag us in when you need to. How you can help us help you. Let the call center know what your preferred schedule is. Darlene is great at that. You know, she calls into the call center. She's like, listen, on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, don't put nothing on my schedule. And that's fine, especially now, you know, some of you have returning clients and you have office meetings that you have to run and you have things going on. Listen, set your schedule ahead of time. Contact the call center supervisor and let them know, hey, you know, this doesn't work for me, or I prefer my appointments between this time and that time. And that works for us as well. So, and for the client, that way, you know, they're not frustrated. Oh, I made an appointment with Shama, she's not here. You know, oh, you know, she has somebody else, or whatever the case may be. We want to keep our customers happy, right? All right. Check the office calendar daily for your scheduled appointments for the next day before leaving and first thing when you come in. We have an office calendar. You can check it, see what's going on. You know, the district managers get an email the night before to let you guys know, you know, exactly what's going on for the next day. Note the returns. You know, you would know more about that, the process in terms of being able to put notes on the returns, but the ability is there. And so that helps us with our communication process if we're able to note the account and at least be able to say, hey, this is what's going on. This is where we left off. This is what happened. So the next person tapping in knows what's going on and knows how to service the client. Follow up. Follow up is extremely important, because if we're taking the calls and they only want to talk to you, you know, we're going to get that message to you, but then it's, you know, it's on you. The ball is in your court to make sure that you're doing what you can to service the client in a timely fashion. Give feedback. For me, to the call center manager, you know, you have a situation with one of the call center agents or whatever the case may be, we need that feedback. We only have a short period of time, right? To engage the client, to make an impression, to follow up, to do what we need to do. You know, when tax season's over, it's over. We're doing cleanup, you know? So we want to make sure that we fix it early on. If we have a situation with an agent, we want to correct that early on, so that, because they're talking to our clients, right? Absolutely. And also, you know, keep giving, you know, the customer a great experience. You know, we like to hear, oh, you know, I had my taxes done by, you know, Jamaica, she did a great job, you know, because we do those customer service surveys at the end, and that's what it's all about. So I think that's all that I had for today in terms of the changes and updates. If nobody has any questions, no, there'll be webinars, there'll be, the YouTube channel that's there, there's ZNet, there's emails. You know, we have different channels to provide you with the information and the changes and updates that you need. And I'm always available if you need anything. Okay.